Our guest today is the beautiful Khanyi Mbau. She is what the industry mavericks call a triple threat. She acts, she sings, has a book under her belt, and is a professional voiceover. She's gonna have to show us, making her a true talent. Since we had her in the loft, she's done phenomenal work on the screen. Let's take a look at a chilling trailer of her upcoming thriller, The Red Room.
I had the perfect life, perfect husband, perfect home.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my beautiful and expecting wife, Mrs. Kenneth Marawa.
Thank you for being such a good man. I love you.
But he's lost everything. All his insurance policies have lapsed. There's absolutely nothing.
I'm about to give birth. How am I going to raise this?
Wait! Okay.
Would you mind if I gave you a tour of our wonderful establishment here, God's Haven? Nobody comes in or out of here without my permission.
And who stays here now, Thomas?
Somewhere you need to focus. Selena's death cannot be in vain. You have to live with your son. There's something else going on here.
Our bid today will start at 200,000.
210. 220.
500,000.
How much is it, Mr. Nkosi?
100,000.
I can supply you with whatever you need. Shut up!
This is the safest place that any woman could be with her son.
I literally have goosebumps right now. You just saw a sneak peek as to what the trailer, The Red Room, is all about. And I've got the one, the only, Khanyi Mbau on the couch with us. You've been with us before, my love. That's why you're so comfortable up here.
Babe, this is home and it looks good. Yeah?
But listen, that trailer, that was just a snippet of what The Red Room is all about. But just take us through the storyline, if that wasn't enough.
You know, this film really looks into the issue of human trafficking.
Yeah.
It isn't an issue film, don't get me wrong. It's everything that a femme fatale needs.
Wow.
Where it's a woman that kills men, the guys that have tried to take her into the circle of trying to sell her in the sex trade.
Wow.
But she then finds out that her husband is the guy that orchestrated all of this. So it really, it takes you through so many emotions, because it starts off with a beautiful relationship of a woman who lives this lavish life, and then it goes into the darkness where he actually married her just to put her into the trade. So it's really horrible, but this is the same issue that we're all facing in the country right now. I mean, there's so many girls that have been abducted, and it's a situation.
Yeah. What was the most challenging part of playing a character like this?
I think I relate, because I mean, I'm a woman myself. I've gone through a failed marriage.
Yeah.
I've gone through being a mom, being in Joburg and trying to survive. But I think the most challenging for me was giving birth on the show. I mean, I haven't had a natural birth before.
Yeah.
So portraying that, I think, was the most challenging for me.
Wow, that's powerful. You know what? Your acting career has just been on the up and up. It's grown in leaps and bounds. We've just seen you continue to blossom and do so many different roles. But this is your first thriller,
100%,
am I right? What is it about a thriller? Because I always say, like, if I ever, I'm not like an incredible actress by any means, if I ever got the chance to play in a role, it would be that, because it's that role that just keeps people on the edge of their seats.
You know, I think acting in a thriller is very easy, but the biggest work is coming out of character and getting out of your head. Because if you're going to spend 4 months of being this devious character who's always thinking awful thoughts, what you think is what you become. So you actually become that person where you're short-tempered, you are dark. And for me, that's the hardest part for any actor or actress to come out of.
You know what, now that you say that, I was watching an interview with Lady Gaga not too long ago, and in her role that she played in A Star Is Born, and she says that when she was done with it, she found it so hard to let go 100%. Of her character. If you're playing all of these different characters, some of them you love, some of them you don't necessarily love, what is your process of actually stepping away and saying, she is her, I am me, I'm walking away from it now.
I had to stay away from, and I think that's where all the blonde hair comes from. I had to stay away from the long black locks, try and avoid wearing fishnet stockings because it then takes me back into her. So every actor needs to go into a space where you avoid all of those things that connect you with the character because you become the character. I mean, for you to not be selfish, you need to then just give your all. So I stayed away from high heels, I stayed away from the red nails, from the dark lips, just to try and remember who I am.
Wow, that's powerful. Well, we're just over 2 weeks away from the premiere of The Red Room. What are you hoping audiences are going to get most or enjoy most about this movie?
Look, this movie is quite deep and it's a little long. So I hope that people understand what it is. Beyond the beautiful bodies and the action that you'll see, I hope they take away the story that, you know, we're every woman and women need to be protected. And that's what the film is about. And I hope that that's what they take away with them.
Powerful, powerful stuff. I love it. Okay, so let's move away from that one. In 2018, you brought us Frank and Fearless, Leon Schuster's Frank and Fearless. I think we actually spoke about that as well, which also surprised me because the role that you played in that movie was a complete departure from anything that you've played before.
Tough.
Why was that one tough?
I think for any actor to play a downplayed role, a person who has no emotion, a person who's ditzy, a person who doesn't even know what time it is the most difficult because it's easy for your own character to want to come through. And Gray had to always remind me that, take it down, take it down, you're that girl, take it down. And my accent was different. So I had to remember that this is not Khanyi. So we'd have takes where I have to go back and redo it again because I spoke in my own voice. So I think that was the most challenging role I've ever had in my whole career.
Is comedy hard?
Comedy is hard. Because you can't be funny, you need to be funny. You can't act being funny, you need to be funny. So it's really difficult.
And what was it like acting with Leon Schuster? I mean, he is a legend in the industry. What was maybe one of the funniest moments you experienced on set?
Everyone thinks Leon is a clown. Look, he's very funny. But when you work with Leon, he is a perfectionist. There are moments where I hated him, where he'd make you do something 18 times till it's convincing. Because it's like, I don't believe you, do it again. And he's also an actor. I mean, Gray was the director, but he sits in the director chair with Gray. And he wants it, like he's OCD. He wants the lines on point. He wants the breathing right. You need to be in the movie. So he's a professional, and I respect him for that.
That is amazing. Well, you know what? One person that we respect is you. I mentioned at the beginning that you are a triple threat, but like you are, I don't even think there's a name for you. Quadruple, whatever comes after quadruple. You're an author. You're an actor. You're a TV presenter. You're a musician. You are a mom.
Producer.
You're a producer. You show women on a daily basis that, yes, if you so choose, you can do it all.
But I thank the fact that I was the only child for a very long time. And when you're the only child, you need to live in your mind and know how to make fun and create friends that you don't have. So I'm actually grateful for that because that's where I learned how to act, because I used to watch people then mimic them. I had to create imaginary friends and have conversations. I had to try and make my space work for me without bothering my parents. So I thank God for that. But as a woman as well, I feel that, you know, the fact that you are a moving vessel, it means that you can also create your time. Because people don't understand that if we are from God, right, then we're creators ourselves. So you can be anything.
Sure,
Why
that's
not?
powerful. Listen, it's got to be something being your daughter or having you as a mom. Let's talk about your daughter for a second, can we? If you're okay with that.
Trust me.
I remember on Instagram once you made mention of the fact that it's now school holidays. So she can go back on Instagram. because like
I put it off Instagram for a while.
You put it off. What is it like growing up with you as a mom? Because it's got to be a thing. Or do you try and raise up to be pretty normal?
I try and raise up to be pretty normal, but
she's
she
a cutie, though. Can we just talk about how much of a cutie she is?
You know,
I want one.
Look, we're not
guys.
normal. Look, she's not a normal child, but she just has a mom that's famous. It's very hard to try and hold that in. Hence why people have always asked me, why don't you take your child to a private school? And I said to them, look, I feel that private schools are great, but she still needs an element of a public school because in life there aren't public spaces for people and private spaces. We all share the same world. So she needs to be in a space where she gets to interact with normal kids. And this was my thinking behind it. And then in high school, then she could go into private school and experience that type of life as well. But raising her is difficult because she also gets caught in the lights, and I have to always remind her that it's a job.
Yeah.
It's not real life. It's a job. It's really not about you, and it's what I do. I'm the famous one. You're my daughter until you get your own career and we find out who you are.
Do you think she's going to want to follow in Mom's footsteps?
She wants to act, and I wanted to do something else.
I'm like, can you be an accountant or
a
something?
doctor, a lawyer, something. You know, she's like, I want to be like you. I mean, once at school, they asked them to dress up as their favorite icons. She went as me.
Oh, wow. Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and she put on powder on her skin. She was like, because I need to be light. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's my child, y'all.
Do you?
That's my
Do
child.
you?
You know what? What I find so interesting about this industry is a lot of people think they know us, but they don't often know about the challenges that we go through. Yeah. Yours being the challenge with...
with everything.
Yeah, with everything.
With everything.
But with lactose intolerance.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know this about Khanyi, but she joined the 21-day Clover Nolac challenge that launched. And it was because of the fact that she's been dealing with it. And of course, you heard it last week when Clover Nolac launched the 21-day Nolac challenge. They say that it takes 21 days to break a habit and 21 days to make a lifestyle change. The main aim of the challenge is to show that if you are lactose intolerant, you can enjoy dairy again. All you have to do is add Clover Nolac lactose-free milk into your diet for 21 days and feel the difference. Khanyi Mbau is one of the people who decided to take up the 21-day Nolac challenge so that she could eat dairy again. And of course, it's something that, like I say, a lot of people don't know that these are the challenges that you go through on an everyday basis, because you can't just go anywhere and order a meal like the rest of us can.
And sometimes when people offer you like a cup of ice cream, you need to eat it so that you don't seem rude.
Yeah.
But then an hour later, you're the one sitting with a hard stomach, a painful, cramp, and people don't know how difficult it is. Even when you go out, it seems like you're being snooty when you're asking for special milk, and the only thing they'll say to you is, we only have fresh milk, and most hotels don't have special milk, so it's quite difficult. And I don't see myself traveling with a carton. People need to get into this whole thing.
How did you actually find out about the 21-day challenge?
So I went on Instagram because I have a cafe that I go to for breakfast every single day. That's where I have my coffee. And I order the same thing every day. And I was like, guys, I'm tired. Like, can't you honestly get me milk so I could enjoy stuff? Can't you make waffles? Can't you make ice cream and have yogurt that has no lactose in it? And they said, but Khanyi, where do we get those things? And how many people have the same problem? I said, fine, I'm going to go on social media now. And let's find out. Let's see what people are going to say. So I then put it out and I said, look, I'm tired of having black coffee. I'd love to have custard. How many people suffer from the same thing? And it was strange because my page was just filled with everyone saying, dude, I suffer from the same thing. Some people didn't even know it was called lactose intolerance because they're like, I get these cramps. I didn't even know that it had a name or it had a situation, and here we are.
So you've been on the challenge for 5 days now.
5 days.
What are you feeling? Have you recognized any difference in your body, in the way that you feel?
I can have coffee, I can make my cereal, and I don't get the pains that I got. And I feel lighter, and it tastes good as well.
It tastes good?
It tastes amazing.
Because that was going to be my next question to you. Is like, okay, so you can have it, but how does it taste, though?
Dude, you can have it in a cup, plain. It's amazing.
That is incredible.
And it smells good as well.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. For anybody who's right now suffering with lactose intolerance, you might want to jump onto that 21-day challenge. I think it's pretty phenomenal.
It's awesome.
So we have gone to social media, and we wanted our social media family to get involved with this conversation as well, because it's really about you and, of course, us getting to know Khanyi a bit better. And this one says, Mbau Reloaded, are you conscious about the fact that you are lactose intolerant? #NoLac challenge.
Before I understood how to deal with it and what it was called, I was. Because I would have these cramps. I don't know how graphic I could be on the show.
Be graphic, girl.
Where I then need to pass wind, and I can't. And I'm sitting with people, and I'm out here trying to, or I'm sitting in a plane because we're always flying. And in a plane, you can't do anything.
And it's like going
and the toilet's full. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, oh my goodness. And who do I tell? How do I explain myself? So I was quite embarrassed until I understood that, no, it's actually the milk that you're taking. Just don't have dairy.
Just don't have dairy. You've got another one. How can I find out if I am lactose intolerant? #NoLac challenge.
Well, the only way to actually know is to go and see a dietitian or a health practitioner, because because they're professionals. They know what they're talking about. So go and see your dietitian.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Don't assume, because it could be something else.
Okay.
So see a dietitian.
There we go. And the last one, I'm just curious about the taste of Nolac.
Girl.
What does it taste like?
Tinker, you know, it tastes like, think about it, it tastes like vanilla. But that's really good, and it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's not bland. It's not funny where you're like having like, I don't know, milk of magnesia or anything. It's really good. No offense, but it's really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Girl, I think you're about to have me try it, and I'm not even, you know, lactose intolerant. Oh, well, thank you. Fortunately, you're not going anywhere. Khanyi it's so wonderful having her on the show, and we hope that her cooking skills are somewhat refined, because we are about to put her in the kitchen and see what she is going to prepare of us as we inspire you with some delicious inspiration using Clover Nolac milk. This is a recipe that you can make at home, and of course you can also try the 21-day challenge. So stay tuned, we'll give you a lot more information about that. Get your utensils ready, because after the break we put Khanyi to the test and check out if she is as hot in the kitchen as she is on the screen as we prepare a tasty smoky chicken pasta. Remember that you can also call us anytime she's here during the show, 021-430-9881, if you have any culinary questions, or if you have any questions for our star for the day, Khanyi Mbau. We'll be right back after the break.
Awesome.
As hot in the kitchen as she is on the screen.
Clover Nolac, lactose-free milk that lets you enjoy dairy again. Made with love by Clover.